What up, fam? It's your boy DTL back with another halftime report as the Lakers down 59-61 at the half. I'd say it's pretty good considering the horrendous officiating here in the first half, man. Role players stepped it up for our Lakers, and Anthony Davis was held to only 6 points in the first half in only 14 minutes because he caught his third foul early in the first quarter. So I thought that was a mistake by Dart to leave him out there, especially the way that the game was being officiated when he had two fouls. However, LeBron James picked it up in the second quarter. Lonnie Walker stepped it up a little bit. Austin Reeves, man, we talked about AR. He needs to start because Patrick Beverly. A problem I see with this Laker team is Patrick Beverly continues to get us off to slow starts. We can't space the floor the same way with him, even though he did knock down a three in the first half. But the officials are atrocious, and considering where we are, in spite of AD being in foul trouble and the officials giving him so many calls, I'd say we're doing pretty okay. We're doing pretty okay. However, in the second half, we're gonna need AD to come out with a vengeance, man. We're gonna really need AD to come out with a vengeance. Overall, just I'll tell you, man, the free throws. I know it only shows that they got they made 4 out of 5 in the first half. So but you wouldn't be able to tell by the calls. But still, just getting our team into foul trouble, we can't play the same defense. We had to play a zone because we didn't have Anthony Davis out there. And then when he came back, he really couldn't. He really couldn't play defense. We basically, anytime you go up against Joel Embiid and James Harden, you have to tie your hands behind your back. It's really embarrassing the way that they officiate these games. These refs are hoes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's really embarrassing, man. The NBA got to do a better job. But you know what? I did like the fact that Darvin Ham adjusted. I like the way he utilized AD there by running some zone and not forcing him to commit to any specific one guy. And it changed the game around. We were losing by double digits. And as soon as Darvin made that adjustment, I'll give him credit for that because I still don't like the small ball and not having TB or AD out there at all times. This is why I still want the Lakers to make a trade because we need more big bodies. When AD gets out in foul trouble like this, we're going to get exposed down low if Thomas Bryant has to guard Joel Embiid and all that size and skill, right? But overall, like I said, we were dealt a certain hand in the second half. AD cannot play with the same aggression to start the third, but halfway through the third, if he hasn't picked up any fouls, he can go back to being his regular old self. All right, because he'll be back on track. We're gonna need LeBron, Austin Reeves to continue to fire. We need more Lonnie Walker, please, more Lonnie Walker. And yeah, that egregious. Look, they don't give us our calls, right? We're getting hacked left and right, but we can't even look at them dirty because we get called for flagrant. It's ridiculous. Like that foul on Anthony Davis when he went up, caught the lob, clearly got pushed by Joel Embiid. He falls, nothing, no call. So we have to play through it. So I give the Lakers props for not getting discombobulated and playing through the lack of whistles on our end. So it's one of those things, man. He said Embiid fouling AD like crazy, no call. I know. It's ridiculous. He said, why coach don't play AD and Thomas? Why coach doesn't play AD and Thomas? I don't know, man. You know what? That would be nice. Matter of fact, tonight would be a perfect night to utilize that because what's going on is that again, the 76ers aren't really an offensive firepower. Joel Embiid is doing most of the work, so we need more people in the paint. He has 25 points in the first half. That cannot happen. Tobias Harris is benefiting from Joel getting doubled at times, and he's knocking down shots. But overall, we held James Harden to 8 points, and really, he should have had 4 points at the first half, but that BS 3-point shot he made, the and one, which is always ridiculous, man. He flails out his legs, and he gets those calls. Those are the ones we have to watch out for. But you know what? Again, overall, in spite of everything, the Lakers are shooting pretty good, man. 8 for 16 from beyond the arc. That's 50%. We're shooting better than they are. They're 9 for 21. And then we knocked out 7 out of our 9 free throws. We got to try to knock all of those down. But it's only a 2-point game. Total rebounds, even though they took AD out for most of that half, total rebounds 18 to 20. So we're only down 2, which bodes well for us if AD can stay on the floor. And then 15 to 16 assists. Turnovers, 7 turnovers, that's not too bad. If we can hold it to less than 7 turnovers in the second half, we should have a victory. But again, we need everybody to step up, man. I love what Austin Reeves did. Now we need Lonnie Walker to chip in. We're going to need Troy Brown Jr. to chip in, because it's going to be one of those games where the officials are going to try to dictate it, and we cannot allow them to get in our head. We have to play through the whistle. We have to play through everything. He said LeBron at center equals L. Yeah, we can't have that, but I think that was a situational thing because let's be honest, Thomas Bryant was getting cooked by Joel Embiid as well. So no matter who you throw on Joel, if it's not Anthony Davis and if he can't play like himself because of foul trouble, we're going to get cooked. And again, this is why this roster begs for a trade. We need more size and more wing depth. So again, December 15th cannot come quick enough. However, this is a very winnable game, guys. In that second half, all they have to do is play smart, take care of the basketball, and knock down their shots. And we should have a good shot down the stretch. But yeah, look, I'm not shocked. This is Sixers, right? One of the floppiest teams out there. We called it pregame. So we got to make sure that we come out here and we don't let these officials dictate the tempo of the game. We got to get back on defense, right? When we don't get the calls, and we have to execute both ends of the floor. He said Embiid body TB, that was nasty. Yeah, Embiid is taking advantage of the whistle. He knows that the Lakers are getting called for everything, so he's playing aggressive as he should. And on the other end, we can't really play aggressive on either end because again, we're not getting the calls. But we need to stay aggressive on our end as well. He said feed AD, absolutely. Second half is going to be his half. I expect him to get over 25 points. So Dan, with AD being in foul trouble, we could be down 20, but we still here almost tied. Yeah, like I said, considering all things, I'm pretty much happy with the way that the Lakers fought back. Austin Reeves was tremendous. LeBron stepped up to the plate. Lonnie Walker, everybody. So the second half, we're going to need AD to hopefully, get past the first 6 minutes with no fouls, and then after that, be himself again. We need a legit center. I agree. I think we need a backup one just in case we get into foul trouble because Thomas Bryant is great, but except for when there's size. When there's legit 7-footers, they go over him rather easily. So because of his lack of size, he's great when we're facing 6'10" guys and below because his energy is there, his skill is there offensively, and it's not for lack of trying defensively. But again, those skilled 7-footers, man, they get away with murder out there against TB. We need Stanley Johnson back. I wish, man. I wish. He said, had that been Embiid getting fouled? Wait, what was that? I missed that one. He said, had that been Embiid getting fouled in the air instead of AD, that would have been a flagrant. Yeah, bro, it's all bad. It's all bad right now, for sure. He said, why not use Jones at this point just to have somebody to bother Embiid and buy AD some time? I would have used Jones. I am confused. Again, the small ball, I don't like it by Darvin Ham. I get it that sometimes he has to go to it, but when you have somebody like Jones, throw him out there. At least, set some screens, do something, We got Patrick Beverley out there running up and down. Why not have an actual size out there, right? So I agree with you on that. He said Troy Brown's literally losing traction because of Ham's obsession with Beverley. Troy is a baller. I agree, man. I thought he was doing great in the starting lineup. When Beverley went out and we had a substitute, Dennis Schroeder, right? He kind of solidified himself as a starter. And coach, instead of making the decision of picking Schroeder over Beverley, he picked Beverley over Troy, right? So Troy was the one that ends up losing his job, and as well as his good play. And it's tough because we had good size there with him at the wing. So that is on coach. I agree with that. That was a bad decision, and it continues to be a bad decision. I can't wait till the day till we offload some of these guards, starting with Patrick Beverley. We got too many. We don't need to be playing so many guards. That's a problem for this team. All right, we need to make the proper adjustments, use our size, like my man said, Damian Jones out there for minutes, especially with AD in foul trouble. And, it would have helped to have another backup legit 7-footer. I agree, though. Rather have Dwight than Jones' clumsy ass. You know what? I'm going to have to agree with you, Tara. I wouldn't have agreed to start the season because I thought Jones, with his youth, would get minutes. And Dwight Howard was looking a little bit, off last year. But it could have been the way that Vogel utilized him last year. So I agree with you. I think Dwight would have probably made a bigger impact for sure than Jones. Turner and a shooter would be great. It would be great. I miss JaVale McGee. Now, JaVale McGee was great during the regular season, but in postseason, he was not usable, right? He was getting bodied in the postseason. When things started slowing down, he was great in the regular season when it was transition basketball up and down, back and forth. But as soon as, the game slowed down in the half court, he was getting exposed by everybody. That's why he lost all his minutes to Dwight. But, yeah, for regular season, he'd be great. He'd definitely be able to spell our center some minutes for sure. Waiving Huff was a bad decision. They could always re-sign him. I mean, we do have an open roster spot right now, but I think they have bigger plans for that roster spot. Dan, I've always hated Harden when he was on the Rockets. Me too, man. I never liked this style of play. It's really annoying. Facts. He said, "Yay, Bev made a three. I feel an earthquake coming." Don't even jinx us, man. Beverly is overdue to knock down some corner buckets, man. He actually had an okay first half, but I still feel like the floor spacing not as good having him there. You know, I feel like we're much better if we'd have Troy Brown starting there or Austin Reeves, who can actually knock down multiple threes initiate some offense for us as well. I love what AR doing. I hope he does the same thing in the second half. He drops a 30 piece. That'd be great. That would be great. Much needed help for sure. He said, who we blaming tonight? Good question, man. We'll see. We'll see what the chat is feeling after the game. But for now, we have a chance to win the game. So let's stay positive. Hopefully, Anthony Davis will make the difference. I think he can. I think he can neutralize Joel Embiid in the second half, stop him from getting 40 plus, right? So neutralize him in the second half, and then he has to go up and get 25 to 30 in order for us to have a good shot because he does it efficiently. And then LeBron, keep doing what you're doing, man. He had a solid first half. He started off the game slow, but he picked up in the second quarter. And again, the role players got to step up. But most importantly is stay out of foul trouble because that's and get back on defense. That's really killing us the first half. He's Austin Reeves should start over Dennis. I think we've mentioned this for the longest, man. He should have been started over Patrick Beverly. He should start over Dennis. He really could start over a bunch of people, to be honest with you. He said Keith Vernon from Jamaica, too much small ball Lakers all the way. Hey, what up, Keith? Yeah, man, the small ball is ridiculous. I'll never understand it, especially when you don't have the personnel for it, right? Like the Warriors can get away with this because they got a bunch of 3-point shooters out there, like legit 3-point shooters, like elite 3-point shooters. And their small ball players like Draymond are scrappy, and they're gonna battle even when they're outmatched and outsized, right? So obviously it fits their mold a little bit better, but even they're struggling this season. So maybe small ball is not the way. I hate this copycat league. It's like, bro, why don't you cater to what you have on the roster? Use the size you have, right? Use anything you have and everything you have. He said, I will blame Ham and Beverly if we lose. Yeah, that's just the thing, man. We'll see how it pans out in the second half, but Ham has to do a better job of not going small versus a team with so much size. Brian, my guy, appreciate you, man. Thanks for super chat. He said AD has to force his way to the rim, even if he gets fouled, if we're going to win this game. I agree. We need the second half definitely is begging for a more aggressive Anthony Davis. The foul trouble is the issue with him right now. It's taking them out of the game. But if he can, like I said, have a clean slate the first 6 minutes of the second half, then he should be able to be unleashed for the quarter and a half that remains in the game. At least that's what I'm hoping for, right? But anyways, guys, the second half's about to start, man. I'll see you guys here after the game. Hopefully we'll be celebrating, man. This will be a huge win if we can pull it off, right? Lakers right there, though. Hopefully they don't get one of them signature ugly third quarters. Let's get it, Laker family. See you guys after the game. Peace.